Hi, good day everyone. How you doing? And my name is Francis Doko. Welcome to School of Film Editing. At School of Film Editing, we don't just do video editing, we also do graphic design. We teach graphic design as well. We do script writing. We also do directing and film production generally. But today, what we're looking at is um, graphic design. Okay, graphic design. No, this is a sequence to our previous online class we're doing on WhatsApp, and that class that covers all about graphic design. We will talk about the basics of graphic design, the theoretical part of graphic design, right? So for the sake of this video, I'm going to just go through what we have in our training, the things we talked about, because I really want to really do this afresh to really educate everyone on this graphic design stuff because there are so many blunder when it comes to graphic design. Some persons have the idea, while some of them they don't even have the idea, they just pick things together. Well, I saw a graphic design on Facebook and I was like, what is this? This is way out of order. I don't believe that that person who posted that design could do such a thing like that. Okay, because I don't even expect it from him because um as a creative person and creative person, I don't expect creative person to start doing in creative things. Okay, where all your things are not arranged. Okay, so this is a book I wrote on graphic design. It's an handbook I wrote to teach on my theory. So I'll be using this one to teach. Then we're going to go into Photoshop and to do our graphic design overview. Maybe today we might just go through the process in this book, talk on some of the things that are highlighted in this book, and the same time we're going to go into Photoshop and overview it. And as time goes on, we'll be doing graphic design. You'll be seeing me working, and I'll be explaining what I am doing. Okay, so I want us to really pay attention to this training. Now, this is the book I wrote again. It's called Graphic Design Handbook. If you want to get the book, can you email me? I think I want to put it in our store as well so that you can get the book and go through it. So, in this book, I highlighted some points. Number one, I talked about what is graphic design and talk about the knowledge that the graphic designer should have, which we talk about the psychology of graphic design, the software knowledge, color knowledge and styling, arrangement, um, paper and canvas sizes, then branding. Okay, so these are what every graphic designer should know. That you don't just pick anything and just wave them into places and thinking you're doing graphic design. No, graphic design is more than just taking text and taking pictures and snap it into everywhere. And even the worst of it are those who are doing graphic design with their phone. It's good to do graphic design with your phone. There is no big deal on that. But my issue is that if you don't know about graphic design basics, when you take your phone, you mess up things. You just stamp in things there without knowing what to do. Okay. Another person use Canva, which is very, very good. Canva is a customized template. It helps you. Okay, so one thing I really want you to know is that if you're using a software or like online platform like Canva to do your graphic design, is good. But then if there is no network, you don't have network and you have to do a job faster on your phone or in your laptop, how do you do that? This is one thing that we need to really understand. We need to really learn. How do you do those stuff? So in this training, I'll be showing you this different knowledge that you need to have as a graphic designer. Then I'm going to go into Photoshop, which is my favorite graphic design app. Okay, so let's dive into it. Number one, what is graphic design? Graphic design is the act or skill of combining text and picture in advertisement, magazine, or books. What does that mean? That means that graphic design is you bringing text and bringing pictures or images and bringing write up, putting them together. And when you put these two things together, what they do is that they help to send a message to a particular audience, which is advertisement. It can be magazine. Magazine is all about information as well. Books is all about information as well. Okay, so these are graphic design. So your work is to combine it. It's not just to combine, but creatively combining those texts together. Okay, so the role of the graphic design, I will just be doing this very fast. If you want to get this book, please do well. Email us at udokofranklin@gmail.com. I'll put the link of how you can get the book on seller.co. You can go to seller.co slash seller.co/m/ Franklin Udoko. I'll put the link also there so you can see some of my materials, also some books and some training that I've done on filmmaking and right for business and as let's go. So the role of graphic designer. The role of the graphic designer in the communication process. Now you must know that graphic design is all about communication. Okay, it's communication with picture and with text. So you're communicating words, you're communicating visuals. Okay, so the role of the graphic designer in the communication process is that of interpreter of the message. In other words, you are interpreting the message. Now your client bring a writer for you, and sometimes they give you pictures to use, and sometimes they don't give you pictures to use. What you have to do, you have to interpret the write-up by bringing visuals into it, like pictures. You bring in this visual, bring in that visual, and you merge it together, and it become what it become a message that you're sending, and then people can be able to understand the message because of the graphic representation, the pictorial representation. Okay, so with that pictorial representation, people can go to see it and then understand it. But if you just write up, people might not see it. But there are some write-ups that are even creative that when people see they are like, wow, this is creative. Okay, so you also want to use your write-up to create to do creative work. Okay, so that is the role of the graphic designer. Again, if you want to get this book, please do well and please remember that I'm going to go through them fast and fast and fast. That we can go to our Photoshop and see. Let's go to the knowledge the graphic designer should have. The knowledge the graphic designer should have. I'm so keen at talking about the knowledge every craft person should have. When I'm teaching my video editing also, I will also teach the psychology because I love teaching that because psychology is the study of how men behave and reason, right? So I want you to really understand what it is and how the graphic designer operate, how they think. So this is how they think, the psychological part is how they think. Okay. So we have a pattern of thinking, we have a creative pattern of thinking. So when you understand that creative pattern of thinking, you can take a phone and just snap in your app that you have used to create creative design. Okay, now what is psychology? Psychology is a scientific study of the mind and behavior. This means that psychology has to do with the mind and how we think, reason, and behave. Okay, how you think, reason, and behave is psychology. So, how does a graphic designer think, reason, and behave? It's very important. So, when we get to the practical, you will see how I think, reason, and behave, how I put things in place, how I maneuver things, how I make things happen, and that has to come with it has to happen in my head before happening in my hand. So if it's not happening in my head, it cannot happen in my hand. So and number two knowledge the graphic designer should have is software knowledge. Very important. You might know how to reason, how to think, and how to apply things, but then you don't know how to use the software, it becomes useless. Okay, so that means you have to know how to use your brain and also how to manipulate the software. Now, when I mean software knowledge, I'm talking about how you manipulate the software, what you know about your software, the interface. Now, in graphic design, there are so many software, but basically, I think we have two or three. One is CorelDRAW, which is popular in most places, and the other one is Photoshop, which Photoshop originally is a photo editor, which we used to do work on photo, okay, to edit pictures, okay. Then other one we have is Illustrator. Illustrator is actually used for logos, and but now they bring it into the play that people can use to do graphic design as well. Now, for me, my favorite software I'm using is Photoshop. Okay, I don't use CorelDRAW. I used CorelDRAW before, but now I don't use CorelDRAW anymore. But so my favorite is Photoshop. That is why I want to use Photoshop. Okay, so I'll be using Photoshop, and then if you know Photoshop, you can apply your Photoshop knowledge into CorelDRAW. For me, I can use CorelDRAW, I use Photoshop as well. So let's move to the next one. It's called color. How do you combine colors. Very important. You must have the knowledge of color, how to combine color, what color fits what, and what doesn't fit what. Okay, so get so that'll be before I dive into using Photoshop. I'm going to show you some design and how the color are interwoven or how they relate. Okay, so let's move to the next one, styling. Now, how do you style or pattern your design? How do you style pattern your design? This is very important. You must be able to style and pattern your design in a way that even though you're copying someone else's design, it won't show that that is someone else's design. Some graphic designer look into different graphic design artists and then they come out with their own strategies or their own way of design. Same thing, you can also have this design, that design, and merge everything together. You have one creative design. So the next thing we're going to see is arrangement and composition. Very important. And all these that I'm saying now, we're going to go into our class, into our Photoshop and see how to use arrangement and composition, because if you don't know how to arrange and then how to compose it, which is the arrangement, the structure of how you put things in place, it will affect your design. Okay, it's all about composition, it's all about arrangement, and also it's all about space. Graphic design is arrangement, space. If there is enough space on graphic design, it makes sense than you're packing things and covering the whole space. Okay, so let's move to the next one. Paper and canvas size, very important. As a graphic designer, you must know paper and canvas sizes. If you're taking it into the business world, when you talk about paper sizes, you have the standard, which is the A4, the A3, the A5, the A6. All these are paper sizes that you must know. If you are converted with A4, A4, two of A4 will give you A3, then two of A4, share A4 into two, it will give you A5, then share A5 into two, it will give you A6, and so forth and so on. So, a canvas size talking about our space of work. Okay, our space of work, you will see that. Then, the last I'm going to talk here is branding. Okay, as a graphic designer, we are brand ambassador. We brand things. Okay, we do logos. We might do a design for a company or a brand. Now, let's do what is branding. Okay, branding is the action of describing something or someone or something as having a particular quality. Are you saying that you describe the person as having a particular quality? So your graphic design is able to describe a thing or describe a business as having a particular quality. If you do a shallow work without excellence, now what happens? You're selling that company cheap. You're telling the people that that company does not worth their purchase. They don't worth their buying. They don't worth their investment. So that is what you're selling. Okay, that is very bad selling. Okay, like I told you, the design I saw on Facebook, I was angry, and I told my wife, I say, this design, this person it messes up, and this person is into filmmaking. Why would he be messing something like this when it's supposed to be doing something more profound more than this? You get now selling that program. Me normally that is key at looking at something that is full of quality. If I see that book, I might not go because for me it looks childish. The design has already downgraded the the program. I don't want to pick it out. I would have shown you the design. It's already downgraded it. Okay, so that is that. So you must be able to understand branding. The branding is very important. That whatever you're selling to the public is that you're selling good or you're selling bad. And this has to be with how you present your design and how your clients see your design and how the people relate to design. That is also affect our psychology, because how people think about a particular design or how people think generally about design will either sell or deflate your product or your goods or services that you're rendering. Okay, so now for example, if I have a bad design in this my cover page, it won't be attractive. But if you see the design of this, let me show you a design I did on this. I think around I don't know if I put at the ending. Okay, good. So this is it. I put at the ending. So this is it. Okay. So this is it. So if I have not done a well designed work here, what happened? Okay. If somebody see this and someone say, wow, I like to get this book. I really like to get it because why? It is a nice design, is attractive. Okay, is if seeing it alone, you know, wow, this is going to be a book for book. Okay, so that is that. And now again, my name is Fakulu Doko, the CEO of Universal Studio Limited, and also the CEO of School of Film Editing, which this is dropping in School of Film Editing. Okay, so I'm a filmmaker, professional filmmaker, editor, cinematographer, graphic designer, trainer, and also speaker. Okay, so you can email me at dokofranklin@gmail.com. Now, so if you get this book, you will read more and understand more. So now let's dive into Photoshop. Okay, so I'm using Photoshop 2017. Now you can use some higher version. Okay, so this, if you open Photoshop the first time, you might not see anything here. Okay, for those who are new to Photoshop, I'm using 2017 again. You can use 2018, you can use CSS, whatever version you're using. You can use 2020, whatever version. For me, I'm using 2017. So, because I've worked on so many design, that's why you've seen the design I've worked on. School of Film Editing. If you watch this, a quote I did for my pastor friend, and also a mentor and a father. And this is the one I did for my YouTube channel, YouTube banner, and this also YouTube banner. And this what I did for uh, this is sorry, this is thumbnail and this is banner. I did this for banner and this is for thumbnail. Okay, so if you go down, you see some other stuff I've worked on. Okay, so this is a program I'm doing on Spotify, Inspired Today. And if you go to Spotify, if you search for Frank Ludoko on podcast, okay, on podcast, search on Frank Ludoko on podcast, and at the same time, um, search for Pathway to Purpose and Frank Ludoko. You're going to see this on podcast. But if you go to music, you're not see it. But if you go to podcast, you see it. So now let's go into it. So the first you want to do as the first time you open, like I said, you want to create a new Canva. Okay, so if I come to this open, that means I want to open something that is not yet. But since I everything I'm working on, I can see them. Except if they are not here, I can go to open, then trace it where I save it. But then I want to work on a new Canva. Okay, so I will click it new. Okay, so it's going to load for me. Okay, so this is it. So these are Canva to work on. Now, all here are customized Canva, which Canva simply means the sizes of where you want to work on, the size of all, the size of where you're working on. So that is the Canva. So, so we're going to uh, these are some customized Canva. Now, if you move to this top, you see that it says save. I think this is supposed to be some Canva that I've saved, but then I don't have Canva I've saved. So go to photo, and this photo is going to give you different photo sizes. Okay, different photo size. If you want to work on photo, make pictures, you can set it to the picture size 5 by 7. If you're into photography, you understand this 5 by 7 and what have you. So change the size to where you want. But if you want to do print, like what we want to do is design for print, you can come to print, and this is where I tell you about the paper sizes. So A4, A3 is 2 of A4. Okay, then if you share A4 into 2, it give you A6. Sorry, A5. If you share A5 into 2, it give you A6. So these are just size of paper that you can use. And still here, you can also customize here that you can customize to the size that you want to. For example, let's say I want to work on fit and there is no fit here. Okay, I want to work on my banner or flares, and I want to work on 6 by 4 flares, and I can't see it. So if I say 6 by 4, if I'm tying a feet is 12 inches. So because this is inches, a feet is 12 inches. If you're tying, let's make a calculator and let's calculate this and see what we have. Calculator. Okay. If you're calculating the size, you know that it's very big. Let's say we want to do. and 6. So our width will be 6, our height will be 4. So we're going to say 6 times 12. Okay, because a feet is 12. So 6 times 12, what does it give us? 74. And if that means we're going to write 74 here, 74. Okay, then the height is 4. I'll cancel this, cancel. I'm going to do 4 times 12. Even though you use 12 times whatever, it will give you the same result. So it's 40, to give you 48. 48. Now, if let's just minimize this. Okay, so if I do this size and this give me exactly the fit size, and if I want to go and print it, it might give them issue. Even me, by the time I design this thing, while designing it will be giving me issue if my system is not fast. It will give me big issue because my resolution is 300, and then I'm going to turn my resolution to 100. We're going to talk about resolution shortly. I'll turn my resolution to 100, which like I'm able to flow well. But with this thing, this is way too large for me to go and print. Okay, by the time I go to print, they might be angry because then I will do it. If I'm expecting, I will expect that JPEG, which is a printable, or PNG, which is a printable format, and then they will be angry because it will be dragging their system. You don't want to do that. Now, my resolution is 300. That is great for me. I sometimes turn it to 600. Okay, that when they are blowing it, it become the quality will be sharp. So the resolution is about how sharp the quality will be. So what I want to do, I will not do this again to still at times 6 times 12 to give me this. No, what I will do, I will turn here to 6 inches. Now here will be 6 inches, then here will be 4 inches. Now this is where the tricks are. If you want to print, this is where the tricks are. If you're printing now, if you want to change to landscape instead of portrait. Now the trick is I will change my resolution to around 300 is okay though. I can change to 500. So it become more weighty. In other words, if they blow the my image out from inches to feet, the quality will still retain. But if I have turned it to something like 100, okay, 100, I might be in a situation whereby I might lose my quality when they blow it because my size here is in inches. So you cannot say I'm doing, if they times this, they multiply these inches to give me 6 feet, it will decrease my quality. So what I want to do, I want to turn here to either 300 or I want to turn it to 500 also. So let's leave it for 300, not 3000. Okay, let's leave it for 300. So now this is 6 by 4. Okay, so I hope we are getting this. Please, if you are getting it, please don't forget leave your comment and like and share. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel. Okay, so now what I will do is to click. Please leave here. Here you see the background. This background you can change it at any time. You can actually change this background at any time that you want to. So I will click. I will leave it white because whatever background I want to do, I will change. I will change it to the one I want. So all here are just Illustrator. Maybe you want to do design. This is for web and stuff. All this for me, I can do my own stuff in printing. So this can give you your height, font size. You want to do font design, you can come and customize the font design. Instead of coming here and start imputing the numbers, you can just do what you want to do. So this went back to our A4. So I'm going to change it back to 6 by 4 by 4. So is inches. So we're going to create the next thing is called create. By the time you create, you see your Canva that you want to work on will open. Okay, so these are Canva is still loading. So these are Canva. Remember, we have white background. So these are Canva that we can work on. We write whatever I want to write and do what I want to do. Now, if you watch my Canva is blown out. Okay, so it's around this edge. So I can work with it, but what about if I want to reduce it? I want to minimize it. I can go back or zoom out. What you do on your keyboard, look at plus and minus or equals and I fill. So what you do control, sorry, I press Windows, sorry, control plus minus, we take it back. Control plus plus, we zoom it out. Hope we get that. Control, you press your control down, don't leave it, hold it, press it down, then press minus, it go down, minus again can go down, then plus, 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 you can zoom out to as much as you want. So that's way. So let's leave it around there. So I will just do some of these two, then I'm going to do some drawing. Then in our next video, next week, I think I will drop in another video on graphic design. We're going to be doing some of our designs, okay? And if you want the focus on the graphic design class, please do alert me, because I think we're going to have the focus um, shortly, okay? So the next thing you want to do is okay. So let's say I want to draw something. I'll come to this my boss. So let's start here. This is select role. So whenever you do a design, you go back and drop it. Whenever you do a design, go back and drop it. Just go back and drop it. You can come to this place. Then this your if you want to cut something out. You can use it to cut something. Same thing with this, but this is in boss too. We're going to see how this thing work as we go in our graphic design class. Majority of these things are for photo editing. Maybe you want to remove background, you can use to remove background, and so maybe you want to tweak picture, you can use patch to tweak pictures. But for graphic design, for now, what we're focusing on is this text tool and this boss tool, okay, and this select tool. So one, two, then three is the most important tool that every graphic designer will use in Corel, in Photoshop. I mean, then sometimes if you want to screen picture, you can use this tool. So let's say you want to write, you click your tool, then you wait till load. If your system is slow, then you click inside the box. By the time you click, you see this layer. This tells you that you're writing. So here is another place that you need to understand when it comes to your design. Here is where all your layers are, meaning that Photoshop deals with layers. So if I write this word now and I want to write another one, the layer will go on top. So let's see. Let's say I write this School of Film Editing. Okay, so and I want to write another thing again. Remember, I'll have to drop it. Okay, I took this and I drop it. Now I can go back and click, then click inside, and you see another layer appear. You said there is another layer that appear. Okay, I might say, let me say this one is YouTube, youtube.com/, okay, so .com slash at School of Film Editing. So now it enter into this edge. So what I want to do is to click. Now you see, if I want to click anything here, it must be active. Now this is active, so that means I can click this thing. Even though I put it here, you see that is the under one that is dragging, not the top one. That is it. If I want to drag this, I can activate it, then drag it. Now there is a feature that you can use to click and drag wherever you want. Like this is auto select. This auto select. If I select auto select, that means if I come to here, I can, even though this one is not active at the time, and you see this is not active. You watch here, here is not active. It's only here that is active. And I want to draw here, and I want to drag this one to move this all about, which is the School of Film Editing. Because the auto select is active, I can just click it and it will select it. Are you seeing it? That is a feature that you want to use. If you have so many files stack, this is going to help you well. Okay, so another thing that you want to know, remember this is kind of fast. We want to do that. I don't want this class to be like hours long, so that's I'm kind of trying to do it very quick. So I'm going to come to this list, click it. Now, remember this is kind of way big and I want it to be smaller in my Canva. It's too big in my Canva. By the way, you can go to this site if you're watching this on any device, or maybe you download this from YouTube and so on. download it and you saw it, you can go to this link and watch majority of our videos. We have videos on video editing, graphic design, script writing, videography, cinematography. We have them there, so go there and also learn. Now, let me do one more. In case you want to buy our course, we have some courses in videos. We also have courses in book form. You can buy them there. So let me show you where you can get most of our course to buy if you want to purchase them online. So now, if I click this, another way of duplicating. You want to duplicate, you can either come here and press Control and J on your keyboard. It duplicates it. Are you seeing it? Press Control, then I press J on your keyboard. It duplicates it. Now these are duplicates. I move this down. Okay, and if I want to override this, what I have to do is to double click this. By the time you double click it, it's gone. So now, if you want to buy any of our course, you go to seller.co/me/Franklin Udoko. So if you go to this seller site, you see all our courses. Okay, you see the one in book form and the one in audio and the one in um video form. Okay, so we have so many courses there. So let's dive in. Now, if I want to make this smaller, it's too big, I will just come click it. You see, originally this is not here. Sometimes when you open your Photoshop, you might not see this stuff. So what you do is you double click it. By the time you double click any of the text you want to work on, you see this stuff here. When you click it, it brings out this. So by the time you click it, it will pop out this, then you can send it to this place. So anytime you want to work, you don't have to click it. Now, by the way, what here does is that here reduces the sizes and changes the font of your text, the font size, the font style, the font size, then the shape, and has some other effect. But for me, well, by the time you have it here, what you do is when you click one, just click this out. Okay, when you click it out, you can do all your changes here. So let's say I want to shrink it, I want to make it smaller. I can come here and because let's say this is my size, I'll delete it and make it less around 15. By the time I click 15, you see that it gets smaller, so you can go to it and arrange it the way you want. Go to this other guy, arrange it. And if I don't want to use this same pattern to small my text, what I have to do, I'll remove this first. You can come to, let's say this, I want to small it. You can press Control down, then press T as in time, T. When you press T, it brings out this, not this one I want to work on, is the top one. I don't want to work on, okay, I want to work on seller. So you press Control again T, it brings out this transform, this is called transform edge. So the Control T is actually bringing out the transform tool. So it brings out your edge that you can be able to play with. Now, by the way, if you want to drag text in 2017 below, you don't drag your text just by dragging here and dragging. You see, if I drag it, it distorts my text, right? So I'm going to do undo. It distorts my text. Okay. Now for 2019, 2020, you can do it. You can drag it, and the thing will be normal. But if you want to do your text in 2017 and below, what you do by the time you click this edge, you press Shift down on your keyboard as well. Shift on your keyboard, then drag everything to go evenly. Then if you want to add more effect to it, if you want everything to go to the same direction, like maybe you want to go to the center, you press alternative. You see it, alternative is dragging everything the same way. Okay, are you seeing it? So because what I'm pressing now, I'm pressing my mouse, holding down my mouse, holding down shift on my keyboard, and holding down alternative. Okay, so the first I want to leave is not my alternative or my shift. What I want to leave is my mouse. Take note, you are leaving your mouse first. Don't leave your alt. So if I leave my mouse, everything will stay the same. After leaving your mouse, you can leave the other button. So you can arrange it to set to this. So I think these are going to wrap up for this class today. And in our next class, we'll be doing more complicated graphic design, something like, let me open one, something like, is it this logo? This for School of Medicine. A fresh view quote. Okay. Let me see if it's mommy thumbnail, YouTube thumbnail. So, we'll be doing. So by the way, if you open a file, I want to cancel this. We don't need this. If you open that file, it bring out in another canvas space. Okay, so we'll be doing design like this. I hope you guys like the design. Now we talk about color the other time. You see, this color is we only have two color here, red and blue. By the way, white is not color. White is not color, and black is not color. So you see, the other color they are just background. This white things is not color, and it makes things unique. Black and white they are not part of color. Okay, so this we only have red and blue as a color. Except you're putting this pink, so this pink is going to fall within the white. Okay, so it blends with the white. So advice for those who are doing graphics, who want to do graphic design, what you are looking at, if you see somebody, if a client give a picture or a design to do, you either asking the client what is their logo. If they have a logo, you use the color in their logo to work on what you want. But if you don't have they don't have logo to provide, you can use the shirt, for example, the shirt, the clothes of the person, or the background if there is a picture for it. You can see that in this design. Let me see if it's this mom design. Okay, so in this design, you see this red. It blend this design, the red blend with this red and the blue to this. I'm just noticing this blue for now. Okay, I'm just noticing this blue. You see that the blue match with this blue. So if you have background that has blue and has red, what you have to do is to pick any of this color and create your design out. And the other thing you discover that is unique, and then look for any soften background. Okay, so one thing I want to share again, lastly, is you need to have stock. Stock as a graphic designer is the things you use to work. For example, this Facebook and this YouTube logo, they are stocks. Stock can be your background, like this background, you can download it online and start using them as stock. Stock can be maybe your color palette. If you have a color freezer or color picker, you can just look for it and bring that the stock in case you want to pick a color or take a color sheet, and you see those can help you. Okay, so let me show you one more design, because in this design there is I think that is a fresh. Let me see if it's a fresh view, because in this design I believe, okay, it's this one. Now if you watch this design, this quote, you see that we have blue in this logo, and then there is no touch of blue because of the white that we have here. And originally, what I did, I picked this blue and I make this name blue and I make this blue, but I discovered that it's kind of shouting. The blue is kind of blowing everywhere, so I have to remove it and make it black, because more of the dominant color here is black. More of the dominant color is black. The only way we have blue is this name we have blue. So you want to check for the dominant color to work on. You want to check on what the dominant color. So I think this is where we wrap up the class for today. Please, if you have any question, leave it in the comment below, and then I will do well to answer every bit of your question. I am Franklin Doko, and please don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you have not done that. God bless you.